This is Jet with Pop Austin Media, and I got Hamid Yaz in the building again. How's life, my guy?
Life is always good, man. Always positive.
That's
Positive
it?
outlook.
I
Positive
was
outlook.
about to say,
Not
that's
positive
it.
anything else.
My boy got stuck on words already. What's up,
Started
man?
thinking like, hold up.
We know he's positive. We were saying positive, like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I know. He said it positive like he didn't know yet.
What's that? What did Trump used to say? If you don't get tested, you won't know the results, so you won't know if you have it or not. Just don't get tested.
He done. He lost, man.
I feel like last time we saw you was before the pandemic. Even though it's damn sure ain't been that long.
Yeah, maybe I don't even know how many months, but
Been so much shit has been going on.
Dude,
It's like
this whole
a
world,
month feels
man.
like a year.
Well, the pandemic was like 3 years.
I know what I'm saying. It's just
So you ain't lying, really. That's the sad part.
hey, that shit's still going, dog. They still wearing face masks and fighting over stupid shit.
but Biden just like said it's like officially over or something I saw
yeah,
today.
but they don't care, dog. They don't care. New variants come up and they're like, oh, we got to be protected for the new variants. I'm like, all right, do what you got to do, man.
Yeah, I don't know why he's like said that. I don't know, but
Oh, Lord.
man, I don't know.
It's crazy.
But yeah. So what we got on the docket, D? I know you said you had some topics. Drinking the water.
Top
We
G
go.
or
No,
what?
man, a ton is going on. Let's start off with this recession. How about do you think we're in a recession?
Honestly, dog, this is where I look at it. As long as you can continue making money, there is no recession. Because what I've learned about money is it's constantly moving. Whether you got the money or you're losing the money or you're paying somebody or whatever, money doesn't stop. So if y'all notice, like even during the pandemic, who got richer? The people at the top.
The corporations.
Exactly. So they found a way to still, while the whole country or the world was going downhill, they still found a way. So even little people like us, if we can still find a way to capitalize off of whatever it is, really, there really is no recession.
Saying
Dang.
that inflation's causing it though. Tori, look at the inflation's out of this world right now.
Yeah, but I think that might be manipulated also, though, too. That could be manipulated right there.
You don't think people like shopping habits have like changed? Cause like we went to the mall like 2 months ago and noticed barely any people there.
Yeah.
And then we was at the thrift store the other day looking for a chair and it was packed.
Yeah.
Like with the type of crowd that you wouldn't think would be at a a
That's where
thrift
they
store.
at. Yeah.
So it's like that's a good telling sign that something's going on. You know what I'm saying?
I've been seeing a lot of bags of noodles on the ground too. when
Yeah,
you're
noodles is
driving and
number one
flying. I'm like,
again.
dang, noodles.
Yeah, but you know what's funny?
And those
though?
are like 40 cents.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what's funny though about thrifting and such? I think it's actually getting more pop. Put it like this: when I was younger, you go thrifting. That's like where the poor people go, Goodwill
Yeah.
or whatever,
Yeah.
right? My boy is my son is 13, right? He doesn't want to go to the mall for clothes. He's like, oh, Dad, we got to go thrifting because there's vintage and all this and all these throwbacks and this vintage and blah, blah, blah. So at 13 years old, he doesn't even want to go to the mall. He just wants to go look at some vintage shit at Goodwill for $3. So as a dad, I'm looking at it like, shit, $3 for a pair of pants, $4 for a shirt. Let's go.
Got him.
You got a $30 limit. We load up. I'm serious, dog.
That's crazy.
Like
They
every
even
2
talk
weeks.
about the mall, like, because we used to go for the girls, and
Yep.
you know what I'm saying?
Get on the bus, ride to the mall.
Yeah.
Yep.
Take
see
the
that?
whole mission.
Sit at the food court, people watch for a second, laugh at people. Ha ha ha! Look at this food.
Yep. Walk around, try to holler at girls, and you end up find out they all know each other anyways. Little
Yeah,
rats.
you go talk this time. Your turn.
Like the mall, as far as the girls aspect, is on Instagram and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
people nowadays don't even care to meet people face to face anymore.
It's tough. We're just a commodity, dog. That's all we are.
So what do you think about? Because I just saw a study today that said the new Surgeon General, he said that 13 years old is like too young for people to be on social media.
Honestly, I agree with him. I'll tell you why. Because even TikTok, which is more like they've not banned, but what do you call it? Flagged so many of my posts. Dude, I had a cut on my finger one time, and I was like, "Hey, y'all know what this is?" Within 3 seconds, it was banned on like not banned, but they deleted it and they said gruesome and horrific content. So TikTok is more hardcore than Instagram, right?
Yeah, because Instagram lets you do the sensitive content type of thing.
Well, Instagram still lets you get away with a bunch of shit though. Like if you put them like next to each other, right? Well, bottom line is TikTok, as hardcore as they are on safety and all this and that, it's what's the best way to say it? There's still so much that gets by. Like I don't even like to open up my TikTok around my kid because I don't want to open up some girl moaning.
Oh, Twitter? Don't open up Twitter near nobody.
Oh, I don't even. I got off Twitter in 2011, dog.
Oh.
2011, I got off of Twitter.
Twitter's the worst.
I know that.
You can have anything on there and be like, what am I? I didn't. How do I? And then it's just because you follow someone else. Like I don't even like what.
Yep.
What do you think about Elon taking over Twitter?
I don't know. That dude, his vision is bigger than all. I'm not gonna say bigger than all of us. He's just a regular dude, also. But you create your own reality. He's one of those guys that he's made the money and he says, I want to put a rocket over here. I want to do that. He creates it, makes it happen, and it's going to become normal life. Like with Tesla, everybody laughed at him when Tesla came out. They laughed and said, oh, electric vehicle, blah, 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 blah. They all laughed at him. Now everyone's like, oh, shit, Lamborghini. Everyone's trying to do some electric vehicles now. And, but him taking over Twitter, I don't really, I don't say I don't have an opinion because there's pros and cons, obviously, of it.
Because you can buy your blue check. So people are like, there's people going out there making up fake news and people are believing it. Now they bring onto it, so it watered down the blue check.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it gets really tricky. And you got to remember, this is a dude that's running how many multi-billion-dollar companies? Like 4 or 5?
Then he tried to fire him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but stop and look at it like this. Look at Apple, look at Google, look at all these big tech companies that just laid off thousands and thousands and thousands. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at the size of Twitter, yeah, it wasn't as big, but when you lay off or you basically fire half, did they really need them or not?
How does he know that?
Listen to what's the name? I just forgot the guy's name. The one that started Twitter. Look at the open message or the video he did. He apologized to Twitter because he said, we grew too fast and I kept it overstaffed.
I can see that.
And he said it. It was Jack Dorsey. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Jack Dorsey. Go watch the video and he says, I kept too many people on staff. And Elon Musk knew was like, we don't need all these freaking people.
True.
We need to make some money, not pay people to just sit and jerk around.
Well, that's like, Facebook, they, had that just bought that Meta, that building,
Yep.
about a lot of that real estate, and they were gonna do, I guess, have the VR, company be the headquarters out here, and then they just, because the VR is not doing good, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They thought everybody was gonna start
Well,
buying
it's too
it.
early.
It's a niche
I don't
audience.
I don't think it's ever gonna. Well, maybe in the future, but I don't know. I don't see it just taking over, dominating. Like, I guess the next big thing, because it's like
They introduced
too
it too
fake.
early. They introduced it way too early. Is
Yeah.
the reality.
And people say it gives them like headaches because you only play. I was like them controller games. That's like still running a game.
Yeah,
people
I know.
want a controller in their hands and play.
Yep. Very true.
So you been started to do a lot of stuff on TikTok. Just talk about your transition. What really got you into doing that? And this stuff is hilarious, by the way.
Oh, thank you. So, long story short, obviously, go to TikTok, Hamid Yaz, HAMIDYAZ. All of this stuff on 6th Street and the funny pranks or the videos, blah, blah, blah. I did all this 15 years ago. So, to me, it's nothing new.
Oh.
But obviously, when you got this new generation of kids, I love reading the comments because they roast me like crazy. And they're like, oh, man, go back to the nursing home. Go raise your family. What are your kids doing right now? Like all kinds of shit, right? To me, it's funny as hell.
Yeah.
And I actually like it because it also helps the engagement and the algorithm push it, whatever, right? So it was probably about 5 months ago or so. I was like, you know what? I really want to start. Because I was doing TikToks here and there, but I wasn't really pushing it, right? It was just like little stupid stuff. But the entire, and I'll tell y'all right now because I don't think we've talked about it on here. Because I haven't seen y'all since it actually.
Yeah.
The entire reason why I'm doing this man on the street shit to begin with, I really don't want to be there on a Friday or Saturday at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Hell no.
How many bodies you got? Or whatever.
I be seeing all the content like, dang, this boy is committed, man. I don't got the energy to be doing all that.
Well, see, but here's the thing. I know how to do it efficiently. You get what I'm saying? So if I go out, bro, I get maybe an hour and a half worth of content, right? Well, no, hold on. Let's say this. I go out for an hour and a half, but realistically, I'm getting probably a month worth of content because you can chop it up so many different ways.
Yeah.
So when you're spacing it out, that's why if you look at the videos, you're like, he got on the black jacket, the green shirt, the white shirt. It's constantly getting changed up. And some of the stuff, I'm even reposting some of it. Because there could be this is what a lot of people don't understand with content, especially TikTok and all this shit.
Yeah.
You might have something that you know is like, yo, this shit's going to take off, right? And you post it. It could be you post it at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., whatever the fuck, right? You might only get 500 views in 3 weeks. You post that same video, bro, a month later, maybe at the same time or maybe in the evening, it can take off and get 100,000 views. So you never really know there's no secret formula, right? But anyways, the entire reason why I'm doing it is because I said I want to grow my TikTok quick, fast, and authentic. Plenty of people that I'm sure we all know them. They have all kinds of fake views, fake followers, because it's easy, right? But it's not authentic. So what I said was, what's the fastest way to get shit to spread? Seth Godin said this. Y'all know who Seth Godin is, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, marketing genius. Seth Godin said, one of the key things of marketing is getting your ideas to spread. So what I care about is obviously the views, but I also look at the shares. So if I post a video, like my biggest one got 3.4 million, I think it has like 7,000 shares or whatever it is.
Yeah.
People everywhere see that, but that's why I'm doing that man on the street shit is because my page has gone up from, I think it was like October, it only had about 3,200 followers, to now it's almost 15,500.
Yeah.
Organically. No paid shit, no whatever.
And nothing like organic growth.
Exactly.
People want to laugh.
Yeah, so when I do it because I want people to, especially people in Austin, so 80% of the time I tag ATX Austin, UT Austin, the domain, blah, 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 because I want people in Austin to see those videos before I have people in like LA or Chicago watching those videos, because my plan is within the next, starting in about a month, is to start doing stand-up comedy. And I've been writing. I've been doing a lot of writing, but obviously you got to go practice it and try different
You got to
clubs.
get humiliated.
You got to get roasted on there. They're going to roast you.
They're like, you suck, man. You ain't funny. You got to live through that.
And a lot of people think that, oh, man, I'm going to kill it with this. And then they go and it doesn't connect with the crowd.
T.I. bombed.
Yeah, whoever. It could be whoever. Really.
Remember when he did his?
T.I. did comedy?
Yeah, he did a comedy thing a couple of years ago.
I don't even remember
during
that.
the pandemic, yeah, and they was roasting them.
I don't remember that one.
You didn't know he did comedy?
Yeah, he was up there. It was bad. He at least went improv. I think he tried to do some improvs, and I think then he did something else at a place, and people were just like, "Nah."
Yeah, I ain't heard him doing that lately.
Because he knew it was over.
He learned his lesson, dog.
It was over.
Golly.
On arrival.
What do you think about Kanye's downfall?
Didn't he move to Australia and marry some Australian girl now, supposedly?
Yeah.
And then he's shopping at Balenciaga after talking all that mess.
He's just one of those wishy-washy people. He'll tell you it's raining at 7, and at 7:03 he'll tell you it's drier than the desert. I think he's one of those kind of dudes.
Walking contradiction.
You think he just got too much money and doesn't care? Because, I mean, you watched him literally throw all his relationships out the door. You know what I mean? Like, do you think it's that, or he just crazy?
I think, put it like this, I think money amplifies who you really are. Honestly, people say, oh, well, so-and-so got money, they changed. No. I know people that were here, and when they started making real money, bro, they're still the same person, and they became a much better version because now they got money to help people. Or they were already a hoe-ass dude, and they became more of a hoe-ass dude because they got more bread. So I think it really amplifies who you truly are deep down, honestly.
Yeah, I mean...
And I think Kanye was always kind of like, look at his early videos. Like, he was always like, I'm the shit, I'm the shit. Now when you're a quote-unquote billionaire, 500-aire, whatever now, he is still like that same mentality. Like, I'm the big shit, I got so much money, whatever, right? He's set for life either way, bro. He's not going to He's not going to be living in an apartment.
Yeah, people think, he about to go broke. Like, nah, he too rich to go broke.
Dudes like that are set for life, dog.
Yeah.
They're set for life.
Worst case, he got assets he could always liquefy.
Yeah,
I mean, but I'm not saying he'll even get that far.
Just in what state is it? Wyoming. He owns a farm and got so much bread tapped into that. You know, I think he was building his own little city out there at one point.
Bro, when you start getting big money like that, you put your money in trusts. So no matter what happens to you, they can't tap into the trust.
Yeah, that's protected.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So can he access it? Absolutely. Or have somebody, family or whatever, access it? Absolutely. But even if he's bankrupt and he's got 30 people suing him for $20 billion, people like that got money that they can still touch.
Yeah.
That's that trust money.
Long. He got the old people money, even though he ain't old.
It's like even Trump, when people say, "Oh, he about to be broke," like, really? Come on, y'all.
Well, yeah, I know, but
You know he got money stashed all over the goddamn place.
Trump got that Pablo Escobar
He knows
money.
how to skate that legal
Oh,
system.
yeah.
So he's like, oh, you know, he'll probably be like, yeah, I'm gonna be broke, but he laughing like, yeah, I got my money here.
Yeah.
once you get past a couple billion, you're like, you won't ever go broke again.
Yeah.
You know how to hide your money.
Lose 50 million and just eat it.
My mom is a bookkeeper / accountant, and all day long, her clients, you know, they're big contractors and such. They're always asking, how can we hide this? How can we hide this? How can we hide this? Whether it's from child support, attorney general, ex-wife, whatever.
Can't.
No, you can.
You can, but it's gonna come back and get you.
Well, it depends on how you do it, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can wrap money up in trust and certain things, into certain things, but yeah, they're always asking, how can we hide this money? It can be done.
What do you think about the midterms, the red wave that didn't happen?
I don't know, dog. Politics ain't really my thing, to be honest with you.
No, come on, man.
No,
I'm the
serious.
same. I'm right. He keeps me up to date.
No, and I know for a lot of people, it's like my mom. My mom is hardcore Trump, right? And she tries to tell me about all this and all that, and I'm like, look, either way, like this document shit. Okay, Trump had classified documents. I think we actually talked about this.
We talked about it.
The last time. Then next thing you know, boom, Joe Biden. Oh, well, it was in his garage next to the Corvette, and technically he was vice president, but they weren't as bad as the classified ones to this one. And then boom, Mike Pence, same thing. So that's what I'm saying.
Hillary, she did her stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So everybody got dirt on them, and that's why I personally don't put my name behind nobody, because either way, like Pimp C said, what happens in the dark will come out in the light.
That boy Barack walked in there clean as a whistle, walked out clean as a whistle.
Yeah.
Say what you want about him.
Remember they were hating on him because his suit was brown one time?
Yeah,
He had a brown suit. Oh, who does he think he is? He has a brown suit.
Hey.
That's not presidential.
Hey, when he dropped that mic, he was so happy. Like, you know what? I'm gone.
He's like,
They did my boy dirty, man.
he's like, fuck all this shit.
What are your thoughts on that takeoff situation?
I was confused because here's the thing. At first they were saying it was a dude named Lil Cam, right? That Lil Cam, 15, 16-year-old dude. So supposedly Lil Cam, and then he got killed, right? I think like a week later after it happened, Lil Cam got killed. So I was like, okay, maybe it was the dude, and Jay Prince maybe had, you know what I'm saying, had that dude taken care of. But then it turns out to be a whole nother dude now. So I got no clue, man. It's crazy.
What do you think about just the rise of like hip hop violence? You know, I'm seeing every other week is somebody getting, gunned down. You think that's been going on, or
It's been going on, but it's worse now, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because now you can snatch a rapper's chain and you can wave it around on Instagram Live, on TikTok, and say, "Look who we got!" Like this whole Jake 1090, what's his name?
1090
Jake?
1090 Jake. He's I got the paperwork on Boston Richie, and he's like, no, that wasn't me in that video, and I was only saying it because of. So now you got people that they're like, oh, I got proof, and I can show the world this proof about whatever, It's kind of like, you remember when Game beat up 40 Glock or no?
Mm-hmm, I remember that.
And they got it on video.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
And 40 Glock is getting his ass whooped.
He said, "Oh, you got blood on my Jordans, you MF." Yeah.
But here's the thing though. But 40 Glock said what y'all didn't see on that video is there were dudes with guns all in front of me. You didn't see that part though. He said y'all didn't see that. He goes, y'all just see me getting my ass whooped, but don't realize I got 4 guns pointed at my head. But I think now it's just more popular because of the capability to instantly share information and then to argue back and forth with each other on like IG. What do you call it on the stories or live? IG live.
Do you remember when this was way before? This was like Joe Budden was on this early when he was talking mess about I want to say it was Wu-Tang, whatever, and then when it was Ghostface or somebody pulled up and then punched him, and then he was still on live. He walked over and he was like, "Hey man, I just got punched by Ghostface, y'all." Basically just breaking it down, like, and he just acted like it was nothing happened. You don't remember that?
I don't remember that one.
Joe Budden, and he was doing this stuff way before everybody.
Yeah, he was early.
I remember the academics one. When he was talking to Migos and they were like actually it was Joe Budden.
Yeah.
Joe Budden and academics. And they were just
Joe's
being real
always
dicks.
there.
They're like, yeah. Like,
He
terrible.
said, "You let me off bad and bougie, do a little loud, do a little bad and bougie," and then it just
But what about that?
R.I.P. man.
What about the other one? That one that happened about a month or so ago. Lil Kelpie or whatever the fuck.
I
On
know
No
Jumper.
Jumper.
Oh yeah,
Dude just wailed on him. What do y'all think about that one?
That was
Uncalled
messed
for,
up.
what do you
Yeah,
think?
Yeah, the dude on there, what's in Almighty Suspect. I never really liked him. Because I watched No Jumper a lot, so I think he was just kind of the hothead type. I mean, he's still on there.
Yeah.
So I understand old boy called him the B word, but just to do that on camera is just kind of ignorant and stupid. I think
I
that's
think
why.
he disrespected.
Why No Jumper is kind of in the spot that he is today. Was what I was about to ask you, because Adam just kind of exposed one of his co-hosts. Did you see that? Yeah, well, he got one of his co-hosts, Lil House Phone, who's been rocking with him for like a long time. You know what I'm saying? Since early in the days. He brought this transgender girl on to do an interview, and she basically exposed them kind of on the interview, and he still put the interview out. So now they're in like, they haven't did their No Jumper show in a minute. So No Jumper's kind of in limbo right now just because Adam outed one of his, best friends, basically. You know what I'm saying? So kind of what do you think about just the space No Jumper is in right now?
Damn. Well, see, okay, well, here's the thing. So Adam 22 is really the face of it, correct?
He's the one who started it.
Yeah.
Him and another guy did, but then the guy fell off. It was like a BMX skateboarding mixed together type of site. Then it just transitioned to something else.
But here's what it really comes down to is what is it on paper, though?
Yeah.
Because obviously we see what they feed us. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But what is it on paper, like the ownership, like what do they even really have written out? Because there's all these people that are quote-unquote contributors.
Yeah.
Poetic Flacco, I think his name is, or what is it?
Yeah, he's one of the biggest ones right now.
Yeah, you got all these people that are contributors or whatever, but who actually calls the shots? Plus, depending on how they're structured, if they're as a corporation, whatever, technically, they got to have a board of people that make decisions, and that's where it can get tricky. So we might see Adam 22 on it, but are there other people that have a say in what happens and with the content or not?
Yeah.
That we don't know.
But I mean, not to put that one up though. I mean, that's like
he was wrong on that one, exposing his homeboy.
Yeah, cut that out. Like and people watch Lil House Phone. People come to see that.
Yeah, you got a lot of fans, so it's kind of and a lot of them got their own little side channels. That's the thing that
Damn, he's already here.
Since who?
Spice.
Dang. Since like they kind of blew up, all his little co-hosts kind of went and got their own side channels. So after all their No Jumper interviews, they go to their side channels and talk about all the drama. You know what I'm saying? So they're getting into position to where they can, leave No Jumper and just continue their own thing. You know what I mean? Which
It's like an R&B group.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
I like AD. AD might be my favorite on there. I like AD. He's cool.
Yeah, all it is like an R&B group. They all started it together, whatever I guess you could say, and then eventually they start doing solo projects, and then the whole group splits up. Yeah, it's rinse and repeat.
Yeah, especially when you go out one of your bandmates or whatever.
Yeah. What about that Top G though?
Let's talk about that.
Well, what y'all think about that fool?
Crazy. I'm like, break the situation down.
Well, you want my thoughts or you want my?
Yeah, the whole thing.
All right, so I don't know how they be flagging these things. So we'll say Andrew T. Andrew T. to be YouTube sensitive. There we go. Obviously, he's locked up. Supposedly, they got him for trafficking, RAPE, all kinds of different charges, supposedly, by what we heard about it, right?
Yeah.
But I have mixed feelings on that dude, and I'll tell you why. I love him and I hate him at the same time.
Oh, man.
And I talk to these young dudes at the gym all the time, and they're so in love with him. And I'm like, look, let me tell you the truth about this dude. Number one, he's great for motivation and inspiration. I agree with a lot of stuff that he says. Don't just sit at home, play video games, and BS around, blah, 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 blah. Get up, do something, be a man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That masculinity, that alpha, that absolutely I agree.
You got to be.
But here's where it gets kind of tricky. Check this out. Because I've listened to almost 20 hours of that dude talking.
Him and his brother.
Him and his brother, yeah.
20 hours?
20 hours. Because,
oh, he got you.
Yeah, because I want to make conscious decisions on, or opinions, I guess you could say, on, or I don't want to say conscious, but like unbiased opinion. Because people will hear a soundbite and they'll run with the headline and they'll label you based off that headline. But I'm like, look, if you listen to 20 hours of somebody talking, I think that's more than just a few headlines. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, let me listen to this dude. Now, here's where it gets tricky with this fool. So number one, obviously he was a kickboxer back in the day, blah, 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 blah. He didn't really make no money. Kickboxing, you don't make much money. He even said it himself. Now, here's where it gets interesting. He said, I owed some dudes $70,000. Okay? Do y'all know about this or not?
I think I did hear
bad
this story.
Well, I don't know. He didn't say. So this is coming from
like he took a loan from some people.
Something
almost.
maybe. I'm not sure what it was. He just said he owed some dudes, some really bad dudes or big dudes or whatever is what he said. 70 racks. So he didn't have the money. He said all I had in the bank was like 20 or 30,000. I think he said he had a BMW also, right? So he started trying to figure out what do I have that I can come up with the money. He realized the only thing he had that could really produce income quick was girls. Okay. So basically what he did, he got girls from, I guess, around the world or around the area he was in at the time, brought them together to do webcams, okay, like webcam streaming, whatever.
Yeah.
So what he would do, he would be the one typing, like he would be the one basically posing as the girl, right? The girl will be doing all the actual physical stuff, right? But Andrew, thinking like a dude and knowing what dudes want to hear and how to manipulate dudes, he said, and this is coming from his mouth, that he was the one physically to like send me money, basically doing all the finessing.
I remember this.
Okay?
Yeah.
He was doing all the finessing, okay? So, and he was, depending on the interview that you watch, he starts getting really comfortable about how grimy he got.
Oh, God.
So, exactly, like he was talking reckless, bro. So I was like, okay, like this dude is a straight up scammer, right? So he finessed all these dudes, life savings, all this shit, right? Dudes just sending money, blah, 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 blah. So that was the first thing. Then he would say, this is another thing that caught me. He said these girls would complain that they had to work. He's like, bitch, just fucking do it, blah, 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 10, 12, 14, 16 hours a day sometimes because the money was too good. So he said this on camera. He was basically forcing them to continue to work 12, 14, 16 hours a day. Okay. So I was like, okay, that's a red flag because if you're forcing someone, quote unquote, employee into SEX type of work, red flag right there. Okay. Then that was that. So anyways, so he really, that's how he started making money, right? All this Hustlers University stuff that he has now, that's supposedly not how he made hundreds of millions of dollars. So my question, and I tell this to these dudes at the gym, I say, if a man has integrity with how he makes his money, you'll know exactly how he makes his money.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, Bill Gates, even local Austin, dudes that are rich or whatever, you know how they make their money. If there's a dude on the internet that's claiming he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, but does not tell you how he made his money, there's red flags right there.
That's what I don't understand. I'm like, how do these dudes become so wealthy, but you can't trace it?
Exactly. And then the last thing I'll say on him is he said he moved to Romania because of the laws are so different and you can get away with so much more in Romania. And the last thing that I heard him say, which was probably a month or so before he got popped, was he said they created their own bank so it doesn't have to go through the system.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. And they asked him, how much does it cost to start your own bank? And he was like, well, it's a lot. They go like 10 million, he's like more. Basically, he said about 40, 50 million to start your own bank. So whatever quote unquote money he's making, he's trying to make it go through his system.
Yeah.
So when you see the money laundering or racketeering or whatever charges against him, there you go. If the dude just put up 40, 50 million dollars to pump in a whole bunch more money through there, something's fishy going on. So I don't know. I like him and I hate him. That's all I can say.
He's entertaining.
He's entertaining, definitely, absolutely. He's like Trump to me. I love him and I hate him at the same time.
I just found out that Elon Musk bought Tesla. I thought he was like the original, creator of it, but I just found out that
he bought it from some dude,
two
like
dudes.
long time. Yeah, long
yeah,
time.
but I didn't even know. I thought he was like the start this company Tesla, blah blah blah,
or took it over or something like that. It was something.
Yeah,
like that.
and I think he something like that. But he wasn't the original creator of it.
Yeah, no,
I didn't know that.
Yep.
So I take away props from him. I used to give him so much props, but I mean his family had money. He's kind of like a Trump, the way he got rich. I thought he was from the ground up, but he wasn't.
Nah. Yeah, I know he wasn't from the ground up. So I'm like, yeah.
Well, he had a little money. I don't think he had Trump type money, but he had money, but he wasn't like mega billionaire type.
But he had enough to invest in the companies that set him up. Kind of like I thought he was, like I said, I thought he was I don't know. I mean, he done well with what he's taking over, but
I think business wise, I think he is from the ground up business wise. Because
I don't know. We bought a Tesla.
No. I'm about to tell you. So, have you ever heard of Jason Calacanis?
Nah.
Look him up. He's a nerdy white dude, right? But he's from Silicon Valley, and he's like an angel investor, whatever. He's basically, when all them dudes were starting like the Twitter, Tesla, all that shit, he was in the mix. He's got a podcast also. Look him up. It's like an entrepreneurial podcast. Anyways, him and Elon Musk are like really good friends. I was listening to Jason like 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And he said that when Elon sold PayPal, right? Because it was like the PayPal mafia, they called it, I believe, that they all made money, whatever. Well, Elon says, I'm going to put money into this, put money into this, put money into this. He said he didn't even have money for rent. He said, I had to lend him money so he could pay his rent. And he said a lot of people think that he has like unlimited money, but he was very like, this is going to work, this is going to work, this is going to work. And he says, I have the very first Tesla Roadster in my garage. Elon gave it to me. He said he was sleeping on my couch until I started lending him money to pay for rent somewhere. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah,
reinvesting all his money. I'm going to have to go. What's his name?
Jason Calacanis.
Let me write that down.
And you look at him, he's like this nerdy ass dude, but he's loaded with bank, dude, because he invested in everybody.
Like. Yeah, when you get in early,
Shit, he got in early with everybody, bro.
God dang. You said Jason Calacanis?
Yeah, Jason Calacanis. And I'm trying to remember what the name of his podcast is, but if you look him up, you'll see you'll see who he is.
That's crazy.
Yes, sir.
I think
all right, in closing, what you got coming up on TikTok?
Shoot, I'll tell you this, because this is going to kind of surprise some people here in a bit. So I'm kind of playing two roles right now. And with TikTok, I'm going to keep doing the comedy thing, because my whole thing is to start doing stand-up. Yeah. That's really what I truly want to do. So I'm going to keep doing that. But also at the same time, I need to start creating more revenue, because I chill. Or I don't say chill, but I don't got a job, put it like that. So my thing is like, now I'm like, you know what? I need to get some bread coming in again. So I used to have a dessert business. Now in
I saw you did a post about I saw the wheelbarrow, and I was going to ask you what but keep going.
Yeah, so I had a dessert business for about 4 or 5 years, whatever it was, and I stopped that in 2019 so I could pursue the business talks and mentoring and all that stuff. But obviously COVID came and all that got fucked off. But anyways, what I'm getting at now is, so coming March, right now I'm doing product development, names getting registered already, logo, all the behind the scenes stuff of a business.
Yeah.
And in March, I'm going to be pumping that out. So I really want to do that during the day and then be doing my comedy at night. So it's going to be
back Stumpies?
No, it ain't going to be Stumpies. It's going to be different. But I'm not going to tell you yet, because I'm keeping everything totally under wraps until the last week of February. But the only thing that I can say that I'm fortunate of is because I come with experience.
Yeah.
And when you come with experience, you can make things happen a lot faster. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing I can, like, literally I had the idea in the middle of, I went to Mexico for like 3 weeks, came back, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this business. I think it was like January 15th. So like 2 weeks ago, I officially told myself, I'm going to make this business happen. And you're going to see it get popping, dog. Like it's, yeah. I'll just leave it like that for now.
Real quick on Mexico, because you be in Mexico a lot, and I want to go, but I be scared just because the cartel. So how do you go to Mexico and be safe? Like, what are the spots to go to, and how do you avoid not dying?
If it's like your first time, I guess would it be your first time?
Yeah.
this is what I would recommend. Go somewhere like Cabo or Cancun first, okay? And the reason I say that is because of this. The cartels mainly hang around and do all their dirt closer to the border because of the fact that drugs are so hard to get across compared to before.
Yeah.
It all depends on the president, just FYI. And I know this. I had an uncle that got killed by a cartel. So let me tell you how this works. Depending on the president, drug gets through freely, right? But when it's a different kind of president, all the drug kind of stops. And you're talking about Laredo, McAllen, Reynosa, all those areas. So Monterrey, where I'm from, because I'm half Mexican, Monterrey is the first big city before you get to the border. But it's still 2 hours from the border. So when the drugs don't get to the border or through the border, what happens? They kind of fall back into the frontera, which they call like the border areas, right? So that's when you have a lot of turf wars and stuff like that. Now, for an American, what I recommend, go to Cabo, go to Playa, go to Cancun, because the cartels got so much money invested into everything there that they make sure it's an enjoyable experience for you because they don't want it to be, I don't know, I know y'all are younger, but Acapulco back in the day, that used to be the hot spot, dog.
Yeah, I remember that now that you
that used to be back in the 80s, man. You go to Acapulco, you're doing it, right? But because of the drugs, basically the drug dealers let the drugs overtake the city and Americans got scared. Nobody went back. So with Cabo, Cancun, and Playa, Mazatlan, all that, they don't want that to be Acapulco Part 2. So the cartels do the best job they can do to keep all the cartel stuff away from those areas.
Wow.
So if you go to those areas, you're good. But going deeper into Mexico and all that, especially if you're driving with American plates, I do not recommend.
They gonna.
That's real talk.
Like that one family, probably happened a couple years ago, but that just got slaughtered. They was in those two vehicles.
Oh,
you remember that?
I remember,
I saw that. I was like, man, that's crazy. It was, I think, it was like a Mormon family or something who lived like in the outskirts. They just gunned them, just riddled their car with bullets.
Ruthless.
Yeah. And anything can happen. And the reality is this, bro. Anything can happen to anybody, but as long as you're at least trying to do the safe stuff, then you're good.
Yeah.
Start with the safe stuff and then get risky later.
That's crazy, man.
And be careful with the girls you meet on them dating apps and when you go, because a lot of them are hustlers too.
Oh, Lord.
So guys need to really be careful when they meet, because girls, especially in Cabo, Cancun, they're the easiest girls to smash, bro. Easiest.
Really?
Well, because they know you're only going to be there for a few days, and they're just looking for something. But you also got to keep in mind, depending on the girl, she might also be trying to rob you or just trying to finesse and get some money out of you. But it depends on what you go for.
Crazy.
Yep.
Just be smart, people.
Yeah, be smart.
We appreciate you coming.
Yes, sir. Already.
As always,
appreciate y'all having
man.
me.
It's been too long. I get you back sooner.
Yes, sir. My bad, me clear.
Nigga,
So in closing, I'm just this is Jet with Pop Austin Media with Hamid Yaz. We'll have you back again, my guy. Hey, like, subscribe. We out.
Smash the like button, y'all.
Thanks for watching, y'all. We just hit that 10K subscribers. We're on our way to 11, so make sure you hit that like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time.